So, okay, I've just hit record. And so, Nicholas, why don't you start off with your introduction?
Sure. So my name is Nicolas and I come from Spain, but I have been living in London for the last few years. And now I'm just moving to Berlin, in Germany. Yes. And I mean, this course really hits quite the nerve of what I'm most passionate about right now, which is in general consciousness development and a spiritual path. I'm a student of Thomas Hubel, who was with you in the One World Rising podcast, and especially this we consciousness, this true globalization process, and the process of you were speaking now about integration happening when there's an actual meeting. So how is this process of when we meet and the separation that is between us, or the things that are between us? This is another thing that I'm very interested in: collective fields, collective trauma and healing. And how is it when we start seeing this separation and then we put attention into it? And there's so many tools that I'm excited about that I see are going to happen in this course. And yeah.
Great. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Yeah, cool.
And also, maybe one last thing, just that I'm really excited to connect with you all. And I'm a bit in the dark right now because I registered late and I haven't had a chance to look at the materials yet. But this was what got me into action now, to see that I could introduce myself and that we were starting to do these dialogues. So I mean, there's a lot of things that I want to do, also projects, and I feel like, well, it's amazing that we can all meet here, and I'm sure we have the same passion, so it's great. Yeah.
Terrific. Thank you.
Thank you.
Hi, Netta. Welcome. Okay, maybe Angelo.
Yeah, hi.
Nicholas, I'm sorry. Nicholas, stay on as long as you can, and jump off when you need to. He's in the middle of a retreat program, so thank you. Yeah, Angelo.
Yeah, so my name is Jose Maria Angelo Herrera, but you can call me Angelo or Angelo. And I'm from the Philippines. I'm now in the province of Nueva Ecija. It's a beautiful farming community. And I'm working with a peace NGO that is working with the community for what we call Earth Care. So we're working with the youth towards establishing the harmony between humanity and our planet. And it's amazing to be here and be with you at the same time. There's a sort of integration that I feel is happening with this dialogue happening. I also just came from the workshop with the youth, and the farming community was heavily affected by the typhoon that brought literally pieces of the mountain, logs, huge rocks, and soil into the farmlands, and the houses were devastated. And it was clear that it's because of the disconnection between those who are using the resources, in a linear way within the mountains that surround the farming community. And it's also amazing to see the integration that's happening with different sectors that are here: the youth, the local government sector, the families. So, like the topic of dialogue and integration, and the synthesis that I heard all throughout and saw resonating with the modules that were outlined in the course. There's also, like what Nicholas said, just hit the mark also of what I see is really emerging as part of this global expansion of consciousness, and to be able to connect with people who are deeply passionate, as you said, Nicholas, about just connecting to those who would like to evolve together. It's just really something amazing to be a part of. And I guess the question that I bring into the course is how the concept of dialogue with and external benefits of connecting, linking with people from different cultures can be also applied to the journey within to connecting to the inner self. How that can be also be a part of to do something about it really interesting. Gratitude as well.
Thank you so much. It's wonderful to have you.
Thank you.
Great. Uli. Maybe to mute your mic if you're not on. Yeah, that could be helpful. Great. Good.
Hi, my name is Uli. I am German born, but I've lived in the United States for about 30 years now, I think. And I read the description of the course and just felt completely drawn to it. I've known Elizabeth for a long time. We've practiced dialogue in different spiritual contexts. And for me, it's really become a sacred practice. And I'm very curious to see what it's like to expand that into, across national borders, across borders of backgrounds and all of that, and see what can happen in that kind of a context. So I don't particularly have a question, but I feel because so much in the world seems to be splitting apart right now, and here in America politically, in Germany politically, it's a very tense situation with the refugees, and there's just lots of ways in which people seem to pull apart, and at the same time there's a coming together. And I just want to be involved with the coming together in whichever way I can. So this is part of it.
Great. Thank you. Thank you very much. Sarah and Sarah.
Hello. Should I start? My name is Sarah and I come from Denmark and live in Denmark. I'm an artist working together with Sarah on, you could say, creating poetic spaces where people can meet and have dialogues from a deeper place. So I am very curious about dialogue, and we use it very much as a tool. I think I'm curious, and I also don't know if I have a question, but I'm very curious to see how we can work on this with this on a global level and hold all the complexity of our different cultures and our different experiences and our different life situations. So that I have a great curiosity there. And I feel right now in Denmark, or maybe in all of Europe or Northern Europe, it's very strange that we don't do more, because we have all the, we are the luckiest people in the world. We have every reason to act much more. So why don't we do it? And I think one of the things that is missing is that there is no vision. We don't have a grand vision. It's like we are on the peak of our own story, and from here we can only lose something. So there's a lot of fear that's created, because it's only, so people either feel a lot of guilt, or they kind of just deny it and become very selfish. And what is lacking is a new vision that's more important than the story we have right now. And I think this is part of it.
Thanks, Sarah. Sarah.
Yeah, I'm Sarah. I'm from Australia and been living in Denmark the last nearly 4 years. And I'm also an artist. To be a little, I think one of the questions that keeps coming up in the work that we do, and I'm very curious about, is how we meet each other and how we meet the world and how we meet ourselves. And this question of listening and how we listen into these different spaces. So I'm very curious about this very international group and what is possible and what will come up.
Great. Thank you. Thank you very much. Joya.
Hi, hello.
Hello.
Yeah, I'm Joya. I'm from Germany, and I'm the work I am doing at the moment is I create a space where people can meet, and it's a space to connect again to your heart and also to your identity as being part of the earth. And yeah, I was wondering what could help in these times, and yeah, and so I found this kind of space, and I think it's very similar to this dialogue space, and I'm very curious about what what is the potential of us coming together and meeting each other, and yeah.
Great. Thank you. Thank you very much. Silvia. Unmute your mic. Yeah, at the bottom. Yeah.
Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Okay, great. Well, good evening or good morning, everybody. So yeah, my name is Silvia, and so I like to to offer as a joke, but the fact that I was born as a twin, it always been for me a kind of a situation where nature actually put me in a situation of like, you know, sharing like one thing or straight away since before I was born with someone else, with another living creature like my sister. So you know, and of course at my birth I thought, okay, you know, I wonder like if there are other situations of my life where I can really share you know, the same thing, and in a kind of a democratic way, and you know, and in a constructive way. So, well, I'm Italian. I come from Italy, and I've been living in London for 6 years. So I'm from a very small town of Italy. There are like 1,000 people over there, and I very soon felt the need to kind of see, you know, kind of a bigger world, let's say. I've never been outside Europe in my life, so this course can be a good opportunity for me to, you know, meet other people. From far away and travel, let's say, with all of you and all your, you know, point of view. So, and then I landed in London like 6 years ago, and I'm part of an organization, environmental education organization called Global Generation. Jane and Rod are some of the facilitators in this course. So Jane, you know, she just like suggested like, you know, this course and say, oh, look, if you are interested. So it immediately looked like, you know, the right course for me too. And so let's say my question, more than a question, is like I always try to understand, try to think and ask myself if nature and history, so looking back, could be you know, an answer for for a future, for a positive future. And you know, and I think there are a lot of examples looking back, like, you know, storytelling around the fire, or you know, looking at nature, and now, you know, even the animals or the plants, like kind of a is a good example of, like, you know, of dialogue, of how, you know, living things have come together in the past. So maybe I was wondering, you know, if history and the past is a good inspiration for our dialogue today, and you know, for a good dialogue in the future. So there is a mix of things. And the other reason also, I thought this course can, you know, help me to maybe find an answer of my questions. Is also, I was particularly interested in, like, you know, hidden stories, let's say. So when so I'm from North Italy, and my partner is from South of Italy. And when I met him, you know, he told me the story of, you know, the South of Italy, and how, you know, in our history books, we never kind of like study the real story, what really happened in the past. So it just accentuates my spirit of investigation, let's say, about why, you know, dialogues disappeared. A lot of important dialogue disappeared in the past. And so yeah, many reasons. But I think, yeah, that's it for now.
Great. Thank you. Thank you very much. Annette.
Hi, hello. My name is Annette. Very funny. I think I sit in the same house as Joya, just not in the same room. Yeah, I just slipped in. I'm a little late. And yeah, so I'm from Germany, and I'm even at the moment living close to where I was born, so in the south of Germany. And in the last 4 years, I have been developing and working with Project Peace. This is a year-long transition program for young adults. And it was a very rewarding work in which, like, Joya also participated in, for example, and in which I could really experience what when a group of people meets and starts really being in deep dialogue with each other, meaning that you live together and you really share things, and you really start to think together as well and to dive into topics together, what this could set free as a potential. And yeah, what a place to meet could set free when you respect each other and when you really want to let the other one be this different being. And yeah, and after those 4 years now, I feel like I really have even a stronger need, a stronger willingness to dive into this potential even more, because I find myself being very a little bit confronted with helplessness of the global situation at the moment. Very much not knowing answers to the questions whether I am having the opinion whether Germany should send soldiers or not, or how to defend IS or not, or if I am a pacifist or not. And it's really, really shaking my worldview at the moment, what is happening, and also confronting myself with the many people who are at the moment coming to the village I've been working in, and to the places where I'm living or where I just have friends, like all of these people who are on flight from where they lived before, and that they need asylum or a new place to be. This is also very challenging for me to kind of see myself, watch myself, observe myself, with my resistances and obstacles and the joy and all the different things that come up in being in these new encounters. And I'm really so on, I'm so willing to find, let's say, a more firm attitude, something like this, in which I can really get in touch with what is actually emerging between us and how can we kind of create with that together. Because this is really the only thing I want to find out. It's just like strengthening my ability to go into the unknown if something like this is possible. I don't know. And this is why I hope this course will teach me on a dialogue level and on a global meeting scale online. This is my hope, to just strengthen this ability in myself to really see that be more aware about emergence and what comes up.
Yeah, be more aware of emergence, how emergence happens.
Yeah.
Great.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, thank you very much. Laura.
Hello. Hi, I'm either Lara or Lara. I'm Italian also, but Italian American. My parents chose to raise us in the United States. I'm currently living in New Hampshire on the East Coast. A little bit about my story is that about 10 years ago, I was in a psychology program and I started to get into transpersonal psychology, and that's when I started to learn about Ken Wilber's work and integral psychology. And I felt like I needed more from psychology. And so I ended up going to Maharishi University, International University in Iowa. And so I did a master's in Vedic science and learned about higher states of consciousness, which I felt explained more about that transpersonal part of us. And then my next step, I wanted to continue with psychology so that I could learn more about integral psychology and integral theory. And in order to do that, I was looking for a program, and I ended up in Mexico City, and I did a master's in counseling psychology. And that's where I learned two different things. I learned about systems theory, which is the framework for marriage and family therapy, which is different from psychology because marriage and family therapy looks at relationships. And the underlying theory of that is cybernetics and general systems theory. And I felt like with that theory, it started to kind of explain what's going on with in relationships, like when we connect with people. And then I also got into liberation psychology, which is a psychology that comes from South America, specifically in El Salvador and Central America. And from out of the war, out of some of the things that happened there, Ignacio Martín Baró wrote about liberation psychology, integrating liberation theology and the psychology that he was learning about in the States and in Germany and in different parts of the world that he was in. And that, it's a different type of psychology, kind of, it's similar to like critical pedagogy from Paulo Freire, which talks about being with the people and doing work with people, not for people or not about people. It's about integrating community and looking for themes together and empowerment and all of these kinds of things, and really getting into power and privilege and those dynamics. And so I've always felt this impulse to do research, so I needed to get a PhD is how I felt was the next step. I still had some missing pieces in my mind coming from some impulse inside of me. And so I'm now in New Hampshire, and I'm in my third year of a PhD program in marriage and family therapy. And I was just saying to my group, I'm especially excited this month because I've finally, after like all of these 10 years and all of this accumulated knowledge, like a lot of different things came together, and I had kind of an enlivening moment, realizing what my dissertation, what my research study is going to be. And so it's going to be a theoretical study where I'm going to put together liberation psychology and what the teachings are there, and general systems theory, the cybernetics, and integral theory, and lay kind of a framework that I see that with those theories that explains what's happening when we connect with each other. Not just in humans, but even with anything, like I think Sylvia was saying about connecting with even nature and how this is something that always happens. And I'm going to use, since I'm in marriage and family therapy, I'm going to use the therapeutic relationship as a way to explain that, because I feel like we're so focused on learning about our client and learning about their family and learning about their context that we tend to forget who else is in the room. And what's emerging is really about the people in the room and their context and everything. And so I'm really excited about being in this, and I got into this One World in Dialogue program because I just read Raul's book, and Raul is teaching one of the modules that we have about, and he has I read his book because he integrated liberation psychology and integral theory. And I was really excited about his work and want to talk to him and work with him. And then, you know, looking into him, I found out about this program. And so this is really exciting. And I'm really excited about us and all of us doing this. And I'm so thankful and honored to be in everyone's presence. And I'm excited about what is emerging with us and what this is going to look like and what we're going to be doing. So
Great.
thank you.
Great. Thank you so much, Laura. And I think Nicholas is waving goodbye. So goodbye. Goodbye, Nicholas. Have a great meditation retreat. And yeah, see you soon. Okay. All right. So Sissel.
Yes, hello. My name is Sissel Dørum. I'm born Norwegian and I live here in Norway. I guess one reason to join the course is maybe simply to come more together with others with the same interest, because I live in a quite small town here in Norway, and I just long to meet with others and have a dialogue and learn from each other. I'm educated as an architect many years ago, and I also have some studies in science and religion and multicultural understanding. And yeah, maybe I can mention that as an example of my long-time interest in this topic, that when I took my master's degree in architecture, I took it on a kind of universal spiritual space, a kind of, a human temple, which I meant both as a metaphor and a vision, and also a concrete space for a deeper meeting across cultures and religions, and also how we could express diverse expressions of this over common ground. So this has been quite a long time interest in me. But today I work with young refugees here in Norway, and Norway has never had so many refugees as these days, and especially young ones. And this work is both very joyful and very challenging. So the experience is that though they are quite young, they are also very embedded in their culture and religions, and also in a context of separation. And parallel cultures are created, and they stick to each other, and it's so many challenges when you experience it in this concrete sense, and in the school, in education, in how we meet them in the society, and So my my question is also related in very concrete sense, related to all these questions, but also this. Simply how can we come together in a spiritual ground, common spiritual ground, despite all these differences and traditions and levels of consciousness, and
Great. Thank you. Thank you very much. Great. Wow. So we have Sister Maureen, who's just joined us.
Come. Yeah, this is Blaise.
Blaise.
Yes.
Blaise did. Well, we also have Sister.
Blaise just joined. Come.
Okay, and Atrie. Did you both introduce yourself in the last session, didn't you?
Yes.
Okay, good. Then we don't need to introduce you again. You can stay on the line, and let's see if we can hear from Sister Maureen. Are you there?
Yes, you're there.
Okay, great.
Yeah.
Do you want to say, tell us who you are, where you're from,
Sure.
and yeah, what question you bring into this course?
Slide this 1 minute.
And yeah.
Blaise and I are from Belgaum.
Oh no,
India.
Atri, didn't you introduce yourself in the last session?
That's right. I'm sorry. Are you talking about the others who haven't?
I'm talking to Maureen, right?
Oh, sure. Sorry. Yes.
Okay.
Okay.
And Atri, if you and Blaise could mute your line, that would make it more clear for everyone.
We'll just take a look.
Yes, at the bottom left of the Zoom screen.
Right.
Okay, let's see. Yeah, and Sylvia just told me she has to go feed her baby, so she'll be back later. So, Sister Maureen, do you want to introduce yourself, say where you're from, and a question that brings you to the program? Or can you not hear me? Okay. And no response.
Hello.
Hello.
This is Maureen, Sir Maureen. I'm just trying to fix my video.
Okay. We have a nice picture up.
That's Saint Mary Euphrasia. Not my real picture. I'm trying to look at the video. Wait.
At the bottom left of the Zoom screen, if you put your cursor down there, you might see something that says video and has a red line through it.
Okay.
If you click on that, it should open up so that you can be seen. Or you've now muted your mic.
Wait. I can't find the video, but
you don't see a video at the bottom? Bottom to the left?
But I can see you.
Okay, great.
All the others, yeah, and I can hear you.
Then do you want to tell everyone where you're from and what question you bring with you?
Am I the one supposed to answer you?
Yes.
Maureen.
Yes.
I'm from the Philippines, and I right now it's actually 1 a.m. time zone in Manila. Yeah, I'm in the Philippines, yes. And I actually had the opportunity to talk with 2 participants yesterday.
Right.
With Mei Lee, I think from Taiwan, and one from Norway, Atri. And we had a good sharing, but just for around 30 to 45 minutes. And we talked about the importance of dialogue in what we are doing and where we are right now. Is that enough?
Why don't what do you want to learn from this course?
To learn what I can get from this course is be able to learn from other cultures, to hear to what is happening in other countries, and also to share about my own experiences of how I am trying to use dialogue as a process of achieving reconciliation in my work, in my mission as a Good Shepherd sister.
Mm-hmm. And can you say more about your work?
I have been involved in advocacy and networking on issues particularly affecting women, issues on justice, peace, and on issues about the ecology. I have been working especially for women who are victims of abuse and exploitation, journeying with them in their healing process, and also helping on the issue of people whose human rights have been violated, especially people who are migrant workers working in other countries.
Great.
And also, I have been involved. I have been asked to be part of a group as peace advocates, promoting the peace process in with groups who are, of course, have issues of injustice in their own places. So it's like promoting dialogue with government, with the government people.
Great. Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Okay, I think that everyone else introduced themselves on another call. Except Judy, do you want to introduce yourself?
Yeah, hi. Sorry, I got on a little late.
Yeah, no problem. Maureen, do you want to? Well, let me see. I'm gonna mute a couple of lines here.
I can hear you, Elizabeth.
Yes, but I'm going to make sure that no one can hear your noise from your microphone.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. So now, Judy, it shouldn't echo like that. Do you want to?
Right.
Good. Okay. Great.
So I'm not exactly sure what to say in terms of introducing myself. Maybe you could...
like to hear where you're from and what question you have that you're bringing to this course.
Yeah, well, I'm from the United States, and I guess, yeah, I didn't realize, yeah, the question I'm bringing. I guess I'd like to, I guess there's a question about how to, I mean, I'm not working in a worldwide way particularly, but I'm interested in how change happens and how we are able to speak with people from very different backgrounds, different cultures, different ideas, and how to really deeply listen to others. And how change can come about. I don't know, that's kind of a very big question.
It's a great question.
Yeah. I mean, because there's change on many levels. There's a change in our consciousness. There's change in, you know, changing the external. I mean, they're all interrelated, you know, changing consciousness and also, I guess changing consciousness is a major one, actually. But, you know, like when I think of like situations like we're in now with climate change, with our relationship to the environment, to other people, you know, you can respond to it in many different ways, you know, and everything is needed, actually. It seems that every different way is needed in terms of reacting against what one doesn't want, but also striving for a vision of what's possible with human beings. So I guess what I'm particularly interested in is how to really listen deeply and be in others people's shoes, and then how change can come about in that way.
Great. Good.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, thank you all very, very much. And we will post this video on the website so that people can watch it and meet you, and you'll be meeting the people who are in your dialogue groups. You'll be meeting them very soon. And then we'll start with our presentation in 47 minutes at 6 p.m. GMT or UTC time. Okay? Great. Okay. Let me unmute all of you, because it's unmute all. Maybe a bit chaotic. Goodbye.
Bye.
Bye.
See you very soon.
Hi, Anna.
Hey.
Yeah, it's just